Good afternoon, all students. So, today we are having our 14th lecture of Control System and PLC. So, from today onwards, we are starting our second unit, that is PLC Fundamentals. As we have discussed earlier, that we are going to start the theoretical unit first. So, the name of unit is PLC Fundamentals, and this topic is new to all of you. PLC stands for Programmable Logic Controller. So this is a solid state computerized controller which performs discrete or sequential logics. So in previous days, for automatic operation of machineries, relays and timers were used which are having the mechanical base. But it consumes lot of space and they are slow in nature and they cannot be programmed. So later on, these relays and timers were replaced by the PLC, that is Programmable Logic Controller. So as you are showing in the picture, this is the physical PLC, that how it looks. As you can see, number of slots are there. To that slots you can connect number of inputs, and internal to the PLC there are n number of relays depending upon the PLC you are using. So PLC used successfully to execute the complicated control operations in the plant. A sequence of instruction is programmed by the user to the PLC memory, and when program is executed, controller operates a system to the correct operating specification as the program states. Whatever program the user is loading in the memory, according to that program, the PLC operates the system. That system is nothing but the system which you are using. On that system the PLC is fitted. So nowadays many PLC are directly connected to the computer. Through that computer, that PLCs are programmed, and according to that program which is located in the internal memory of the PLC, that program works and system is operated. So as you can see the actual photograph of PLC, there you can see the user interface is given. Again, the input output points are given. To that you can connect the inputs as well as outputs, and PLC will take based on action based on input, and they will generate the output. So what actually PLC is? What is the definition of PLC? PLC is a digital operating electronic device that uses a programmable memory for internal storage of instruction to implement specific functions such as the logics, sequence, timing, counting, as well as arithmetical and logical operations to control the machine or the process through analog or digital input output module. So in this way we can define the PLC. Again I'll repeat, PLC is a digital operating electronic device that uses programmable memory for storage of instruction to implement specific functions such as logics, sequence, timing, counting, and arithmetical logical operations to control the machines or the processes through analog or digital input output module. Okay, so let me share the internal concept of PLC. So see the diagram that I've shared. So as you can see, at the center there is a CPU or memory of PLC. Again the input module is there, output module is there. Whatever inputs you are having, that input is connected to input module. Based on the signal given by input module to the CPU, whatever instructions are loaded in the memory, according to the memory instructions, the operations are performed, output is generated, that output is given to output module, and according to the output or the response generated, the output is changed. means to turn on the heater or to turn off the heater, to turn on the fan or to turn off the fan, in this way. So in this way the PLC normally works. So how this PLC is evolved in the automation? So initially the use of PLC started in late 60s. That means after 1955 the first PLC was designed by the Allen Bradley, which replaced the relay, which was a mechanical part. Then the modular PLCs were designed later in the 70s. Then many companies get involved in the PLC evolution process, and nowadays the digital PLCs are there which can be controlled remotely, which are the microprocessor based PLC. They are intelligent PLC. Again, different types of PLCs are there depending upon the cost of PLC. If the system is small, then low cost PLCs are available. If the application is medium, then medium PLCs are used, and if the high end application is there, then the large PLCs are used. Nowadays network PLCs are also there which are connected to the computer. You must have heard about SCADA, supervisory control and data acquisition system. So this SCADA uses the software to control the PLC, and that PLC works. So in this way the PLC evolution took place. What is the need of PLC? This is the first question. What is the use of, or what is the need of PLC? So the most important thing is that PLC constantly monitors the state of system through input devices and generates the control action according to the given logic in the user program. You can say it is the heart of control system. PLC monitors the state of system through the field input devices, feedback signals, and based on the feedback signal, PLC determines the type of action to be carried out. So in this way PLC works. Actually you can say it is a heart of control system, any control system. PLC performs many easy and economic solution for automatic tasks like the logic or sequence control systems, PID computing and control, coordination and communication, operator control and monitoring. So all these tasks can be easily performed using PLC system. So the PLC you can say is the base of automation. PLC can be used in many industries where repetitive and discrete operations are evolved. Like you can say, suppose any motor vehicle manufacturing company is there. If that motor vehicle manufacturing company manufactures 100 vehicles per day, so for 100 vehicle you have to repeat the same task again and again. So wherever the repetitive and discrete operations are evolved, so on that chain, on that conveyor belt, the vehicle is mounted and repetitive actions are to be performed, like fitting of doors, fitting of bonnet, the chassis, again the steering, etc., etc. All these things are repetitive action. So there you can use the PLC, which reduces the manpower as well as the hazards to be hazard which can took place on the humans. So there you can use the PLC or automatic robots which have the base of PLC. So there is a need of PLC in the automation industry. So what can be the advantages of PLC? Again, let me share another image. So these are the advantages of PLC over other controllers. See, the advantage is faster scan time. Means what? Its response is fast. Working speed is fast. Intelligent input output modules. High speed counters are there. Supervisory control capability is there. Reliability in operation. Minimum maintenance. Flexibility in programming and reprogramming. Cost effective for controlling complex systems. Small physical size, and ASCII message handling capabilities. So all these are the advantages of PLC. Again, some other advantages are also there, that PLC has great computational capabilities, shorter training time is required, project cost can be accurately calculated, it has wide range of control applications, and standardization of control hardware. So many applications are there. Similarly, some few disadvantages are also there, that for small scale industry, the relays are having less cost. So there you cannot use PLC because of its cost. Again, when power is restored, PLC start from the point where it left the task. So it may cause any accident, because when power will restore, the worker may not be aware of that when power is restoring. So it will start from the point where it left the task. Again, it has some operating specification limitation, that high temperature, vibration conditions. So some limitations are also there. Now we'll see the internal structure of PLC. What are the basic building blocks of the PLCs are there? You can see this block diagram. So this is the basic building blocks of PLCs. So as you can see, the input such as push buttons, limit switches, sensors, these inputs are given to input module. Whatever inputs are given by the input devices, that is recorded by the input module. Means what is the status of first button, second switch, third switch. So input module continuously monitors the status of input. Then that input status is given to the CPU. So see what CPU contains. CPU contains the logic solver, data memory, program memory, and user memory. So data memory contains the actual user data which is required for the execution of program. Some data which is calculated in previous instruction, that is need to be stored, that is stored in data memory. Program memory, which actually contains the instructions. And logic solver. Logic solver actually is nothing but the ALU. Whatever program is written, the meaning of that program or the instruction, that is decoding of program, is done by logic solver, and then this logic solver takes the action based on the input. So that input is given to logic solver takes the program from program memory, takes the action, generates the response, and that response is given to the output module. So next is output module. Output module logs the output given by the logic solver, and according to that, every output which is connected to output module, it updates that output. Like suppose the status of relay is on and you have to turn it off, then relay will be turned off. If contactor is open, then you have to close it, you will close that contactor. If lamp is off, you can turn it on. If valve is closed, you have to open it, you can open. So in this way, from input devices, input is given. Logic solver will take the program from program memory. Then resources will be taken from data memory. Logic solver will solve the logic based on the data as well as status of input. Response will be generated. It is given to the output module, and then output module generates the output and gives it to the output devices. Now, what is the function of power supply? Power supply actually powers to every block of the PLC. It can be input module, CPU, or output module. So different power voltages can be generated by power supply, like plus 5 volt, minus 5 volt, plus 12 volt, minus 12 volt, like that. Then the last block is programmer. So programmer can be the handheld terminal, or it may be the PC which programs the PLC. Means suppose a brand new PLC you have purchased. First of all, you have to program it. Then you will write program in the software of PC. Then that program can be dumped into the PLC through that programmer. If suppose PLC is fitted into the system or in a machinery, then PLC can be programmed in system using HHT, that is handheld terminal, like your mobile or tablet type of device is there, which can program and which can load that program into the PLC. So in this way, this construction of PLC is there. So I hope this part is clear. So today the main topics were what is exactly mean by PLC, what is the use of PLC, why PLC is required. Then we studied the evolution of PLC, the advantages of PLC, the need of PLC, the disadvantages of PLC, and the block diagram of the PLC. Means what are the main internal blocks are there to the PLC, and the overview of PLC means how it works actually. So hope the PLC part is now clear.